Hey guys, it's Sven from obons.com. So today I want to talk about PHP frameworks and why they're important, at least at professional levels. I also want to point out the best framework for my needs and why I love that framework. It's not going to be a debate topic. As you know, everyone has their go-to framework that they love and enjoy. Some people have their own micro framework that they have developed over the years. So I'm just gonna quickly point out why frameworks are important. If you are a new programmer that wants to start a new project in 2016, you might want to check out this framework. So number one reason I think frameworks are important because they force you to work in a MVC architecture. Now MVC is an old architecture, and what it does is separate your logic from your user interface, such as your views from your queries or just your PHP code. It does not allow you to mix your PHP code with your HTML. So that's one big benefit of using an MVC architecture. So if you want to work alone, for most average programmers, it's very difficult to manage all aspects of your application. For example, if you want to validate a form data or create SEO URLs or add email FTP classes, there's so much stuff you need to keep track of. If you created your own classes for these, it's good, but if you have to work on this project for a long time, it's gonna get very difficult to keep track of your classes if they are keeping up with the latest PHP versions and stuff like that. If you're working in a team, frameworks help you to manage your code in a systematic format. For example, I usually work in a team of 5 to 10 developers at a time on one project. Since PHP is a very forgiving language, new programmers might not follow the rules as they should, and in time your code becomes a mess. So frameworks make it easier to work in a team and not allow the new developers to mess up your code. Number 4, maintenance. Building project is not just creating and delivering. There is another aspect called maintenance. A lot of people ignore this last phase of the SDLC, and it's the maintenance phase. When you are done with creating an application, you need to maintain it for the next few years. So not only does your code need to be clean, it needs to be easy to manage. Frameworks help you with this by providing a common structure that all developers can follow. For example, Jimmy created a project A. Now, Jimmy quit the company. Now Alex joined the company, and it will be a lot easier for Alex to understand the structure of the framework and work on project A. This would be a nightmare for Alex if Jimmy was a bad programmer and worked with only PHP, no MVC. So you can imagine how much the framework has helped Alex in maintaining for the next few years. Now that we know some of the basic usage of frameworks, I'm going to talk about my favorite framework of 2016, and it's Laravel Framework. I started out with CodeIgniter framework a few years ago when I was still learning, and it was a great framework. It still is. I know a lot of old big applications that still work on CodeIgniter 2.0. But I guess if you are starting out a new project in this 2016 or maybe in the future, it's best to go with a new framework, mostly because of the support and new libraries that use features of new PHP versions. Laravel has all the things I need in a framework, at least for personal projects or even with the kind of projects I deal with at work. It has the Elixir class, which makes gulp tasks a lot easier. It has an ORM called Eloquent, which makes managing your code a lot easier, your database queries and all that. It has a template engine called Blade, which is one of the best template engines I have seen. You can extend those templates, add your own stuff. You can just, it's a great framework to maintain your application for a long time. In the end, I would like to say that it doesn't matter what framework you use, just make sure that you are focusing on the maintenance phase rather than just creating a project and using it. Frameworks might reduce speed suggested by some benchmarks, but trust me guys, the benefits far outweigh the minimal speed boost. Thanks for watching guys. This is Obon's Swen, and I'll see you guys next week.